What is going on, guys? Want to apologize. We had some technical difficulties before filming this video. Our first roughly 3 minutes got cut. Myself and Mike were discussing Tre'Davious White's injury, which was confirmed, Mike, as the Achilles tear, the worst possible thing it could have been. How did you feel seeing 27 go down?
It was awful to see. Nobody wants to see that type of thing. We said the same thing when we saw Aaron Rodgers go down with the same exact injury. We weren't happy about that either. Of course, we wouldn't be happy seeing our own team that we root for.
Always want to see the best players play. Always want to see the best players play. The football gods have different ideas. Hopefully he comes back. At least it's the other leg, right? I mean, if you're going to look for a silver lining, That's the best you're going to get. But our prayers, our hopes are up for Tre'Davious White and his family at this time. With that being said, enjoy the rest of the video. Future Dan, future Mike, and we're headed out. Enjoy.
Go Bills.
And, we're starting to see old Trey Day and the football gods,
Yep. It just is not raining upon us and neither Trey White. And it hurts, man. We all wanted to see what a Trey White, Von Miller defense looked like. We got, half a game out of that?
I think it was 9 snaps, something like that. I saw something crazy. But really what it comes down to now is, what does Buffalo do? So I'm hearing a lot of talk about bringing Jamarcus Ingram, who played for the UB Bulls, up from the practice squad. We saw a lot of him in the preseason. You and I were both impressed. Thought he was going to make the 53. He didn't end up doing that, but he did enough to stick around in Buffalo. And then, of course, you have Kaiir Elam, who has been inactive for the entire month of September for the Buffalo Bills. And he is going to be penciled in as the starter this week against Jacksonville. I can't confirm that, but I feel very strongly that that's how it's going to be.
Well, if he's not, then there's bigger problems than we all thought, isn't there?
What happens then? What do you do? Is it going to be just Dane? Even if he's not the starter, he's gonna be active. We know that.
Right.
So then you look at the other cornerback, Christian Benford. Shoulder injury day to day. Hopefully he's ready for the game against Jacksonville, because we certainly do need him. But Mike, that's the only bad thing to happen this week, and it sucks because it's such a big loss losing Trey. You and me both kind of went silent, really, after that. I remember Josh runs in for the touchdown, and you went, Josh, touchdown. And I felt it in my soul, man. I really did.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I wasn't silent when it happened. I was like, oh, no, it's a knee.
No, but after it happened, all the enjoyment, the excitement of the game kind of went away.
Yeah, it did. Because
from there.
Yeah, it put a little somberness into that win. But
let's talk about the good that happened here. 48-20 victory. The Kelly's Knockout Performances of the week.
If you insist.
You, want to ring the bell, Apollo?
All right. Ding, ding.
Starting off with the number 3 slot, Mike, and kickers are people too. Tyler Bass won the AFC Special Teams Player of the Month for the month of September for not missing a PAT. And it continued against the Dolphins. 6 extra points. Even if one hit the uprights, it still bounced in. And then he hit the 2 field goals, one from 52. I still am flabbergasted when I don't see him listed among the top kickers in the league.
Yeah, I agree. He's I don't know the stats. You're my stats guy. What's his career stats? I mean,
Are you looking for his completion? His
completion percentage. Yeah, let's say maybe his points. But I mean, I just from the plain old eye test, I'd say he belongs up there. He belongs to be talked about as a top kicker.
86.1%. That's just field goals. That's not counting extra points. I don't know his extra points.
86% is elite.
I think he deserves to be in the, if not top 5, top 10 for sure. I think he's a really great kicker. Number 2 this week, you and me talked, and we thought it was going to be Ed Oliver. There's 2 reasons it wasn't Ed Oliver. 1, the Buffalo Bills did not snap a single solo shot of Ed Oliver during this game for me to put on this graphic. And 2, we thought Ed Oliver got 2 sacks, but it was actually Gregory Rousseau. So what did you see from Groot here against Miami, Mike?
We got just a couple of small plays, maybe what do you have? 2 sacks.
2 sacks on the day. I didn't look up the rest
He
of his
had
performance, but you got to figure.
just a couple of things back there. He was consistently pressuring Tua.
He only sacked Tua double the amount that he was sacked all year.
Which is absolutely fantastic.
And we'll get into that in a little bit with the rest of the Bills defense and how they did. I know in the thumbnail this week I have Sean McDermott.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. It's exciting. It's exciting.
It is. Because
there was a lot to talk
today,
about before the game. And
I saw a tweet today, Mike, and it said, it said something along the lines of, I used to roll my eyes when Sean McDermott would call this Leslie Frazier's defense. But now you're starting to see the differences between Sean McDermott's defense and Leslie Frazier's defense. We were not getting sacks the way we're getting sacks right now in Leslie Frazier's defense. We were still doing really well, but it's a different version. It's kind of like Super Saiyan. My hair's going crazy.
He's very blitz heavy,
and it works. It works. Number 1 this week, Mike. I don't know which one we're gonna go with here. There's obviously 2. I'm gonna kick off with Diggs. I'll let you take the other one. Stephon Diggs. And that's the bottom line, because he stole that guy's 2 beers.
Yeah, and I think he said he owed somebody $18. I'm pretty sure prices have gone up. I'm not sure when the last time you've been in the stands, Steph, but I'm pretty sure it's like $36 you owe that guy.
Yeah, it's at least 30, Diggs, but I'm sure you can do it. Hell of a game from 14. Half of his receptions go for touchdowns. 3 go in the end zone, 120 yards, 6 catches on the day.
And what about that play that he had where he broke 2 tackles?
I've never seen him do that much.
55-yard touchdown.
After catch, like the Bills were dead last year, not great the year before. So to see Diggs break a tackle like that, like you don't see that in Bills games a lot of the time. It's kind of like if Josh doesn't take the top off of you, you're going to tackle us somewhere and we'll work our way into the end zone. But that play definitely stood out in my mind. But we have 2 number 1s this week, Mike.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'll let you take the other one. And I'm going to hit you with the tagline. Just, could it be any more perfect, Mike?
It could not. It could not have been more perfect than the gentleman you are wearing right now, Mr. Josh Allen. We had to. I mean, he missed 4 throws. So 4 incompletions. I mean, what else? 0 interceptions, 5 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, how much more do you want?
And not only are the numbers great, but one of the things that you and I have both mentioned is, watching a player and reading his stats are 2 different things. Josh Allen, on every single play where he was asked to throw the football against the Miami Dolphins, he went through his progressions.
Yes, he did.
Every single time. There's the one check down where he's looking deep, changes, find somebody.
You literally watched him.
And you don't see that often. You really don't. So I'm very happy.
We got calm, cool, and collect Josh Allen, and that's exactly what we needed.
Somebody, one of the media guys tweeted, Josh Allen towed the line of aggressiveness and something else. And all of us Bills fans are like, what the hell are you smoking? He was not aggressive in this game. He didn't try to hurdle anybody.
Not aggressive.
He didn't try to stiff arm anybody. But in terms of maybe throwing the football, if that's what he meant.
Not aggressive by Josh Allen standards, by our standards.
Not at all. A new segment this week, Mike, and it comes from one of my favorite players growing up when I was watching the NFL, and that was Steve Smith, the wide receiver from the Carolina Panthers, had this iconic moment in an NFL game.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
This week, we're talking about ice up, son. And it goes to Tua Tagovailoa this week. He better have gotten some ice after this game because he was getting hit, Mike.
Yeah. And how many times? 9. Sacked 4. So before he went into this game, we talked, and so did everybody else. The entire national media talked about him being hit 5 times. We doubled that in one game.
Almost.
Nearly. Nearly doubled it. Sorry.
And we sacked him triple the amount of times that he's been sacked all year. And it really, and I told you this yesterday, I don't remember if you were listening to me or not, but somebody said that when Tua doesn't get the ball out of his hands within 3 seconds, it's considered a broken play for the Miami Dolphins. If you go anywhere else in the National Football League and you expect that, that's not how it works. Usually, the more time you have, you're going to find somebody open, but that's not the way the Miami Dolphins work. But I want to hit you with the quote,
Well,
Mike.
you've got, before you hit me with the quote, when you've got guys that could run like 100 yards in 2 seconds, it's a broken play after 3 seconds.
Yeah, and you know, people want to say how accurate Tua is. At the same time, those wide receivers are definitely a huge help.
He is very accurate, regardless.
The ball to Mostert sticks out to me in double coverage with Trey over top.
Yep.
And he ends up hitting him right in the hands. But the quote I wanted to hit you with, Mike, of course, from Mike McDaniel after the game, he said to Coach McDermott, "Unbelievable job today. I respect the bleep out of you," which, love to hear it. I watched his press conference just because I was curious as to what he had to say.
Sure.
And it just reminded me. It reminded me of these memories that I hid way deep down inside when we used to have to go on after a Patriots game, the Bills players and the Bills coaches, and just say how much New England runs the division and we respect this and we respect that. And it just felt good. It just felt good to hear it.
I bet it did, man. I should have watched it then, because it probably would. But you know what? He is, and I'm gonna quote Bulldog, like I quote GR a lot because I listen to them like 24/7 on my radio. But he's just a likable coach. Mm-hmm. We don't want to like him, but he doesn't make it any other way for you.
That's the thing with this rivalry, Mike. It's like, we hate them. Don't get me wrong. We hate them when we're in the thick of it. But when you're not playing Miami, it's kind of like, you don't want to root on them because that's not where I'm going.
Absolutely not.
But it's kind of like, if they're doing good, I'm okay with it.
It is the friendliest rivalry I've ever seen between Bills and Dolphins, period. I mean, Bills fans, he had mentioned, I don't know if it was before this one or they were just replaying and I saw something from last year, but, you know, when he had his concussions, we all chipped in to his charity.
Yep.
But I don't know if they were playing the video when they replaying the video
they
about
were
respecting.
Yeah, they were replaying it because that's what they do a lot of the times.
It's just, that's wild to me because, man, I can remember games where you got beat up for wearing the other team's jersey, whether we were playing them or not.
That's still happening. Happened in the stands this week, Raiders and Chargers. There was women who fought, and there was men who fought.
They used to be the Buffalo Bills fan base, and it's not so much anymore. And it's just, it's not a bad thing. I enjoy that. I enjoy some trash talk between teams.
Yeah.
And
friendly stuff. Like after the game.
But
after the game, we're good. Everybody except for Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
Everybody except for Christian Wilkins. I'll never like you. And you got your ass handed to you by Osiris Torrance, by the way. But how about Sean McDermott's game plan coming into this game, Mike? Like, and you asked this question, so I want to give you credit here. Again, don't know if you remember it. Mike has the memory of an 84-year-old man
with Alzheimer's.
You asked me, it was the first quarter. I think it was before any offensive snap happened. You said, "Do you think they're going to press?" And I told you, I said, no.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do remember asking you that.
I said, I don't think you're going to press because if you press them, they have like the opportunity to get behind you.
No, I was, so background, right? Some more background in case you guys missed some earlier episodes. I've never been like a stats guy. I'm your typical fan, right? Just enjoy the game, and then after the game, it goes out of my mind.
Yep.
So
not anymore.
Not anymore, right? Obviously. So my question to that was pertaining to my own strategies, getting back into the strategy side of the game, so right, reacclimating myself to the game. Like, how would you, as the Buffalo Bills, knowing that you've got a terrible run defense and I get it. We'll get there. I understand. I understand. Not this week. I understand we were not this year.
Exactly.
Not this year.
Okay.
My apologies. Correction. But historically, how, you're bad in the run game, you're bad in the short games. How do you stop not one speedy target, not two, but three? So
well, usually I would say it's bend but don't break, right?
In my mind, I was saying, do I press this guy to get the pressure on Tua. But then, as you were saying, no, that leaves Cheetah and Waddle wide open.
But I don't want to say that's all they did, because it wasn't all they did. They pressed at the line of scrimmage. They played cover 2 most of the day with 2 deep safeties, not letting any plays over the top. And it worked. A lot of the times, it just doesn't work that way. You come in with a game plan, you get punched in the mouth. You know the quote from Tyson, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yep.
So I was just surprised at how easy it was for Buffalo, because honestly, it was easy. They punted twice, 5 of 10 on third down, and well disciplined. 4 penalties on the day for the Buffalo Bills.
They made it look easy. But as you said, we weren't comfortable until end
Late
of
in
the
the fourth
third,
quarter,
late
yep.
in the fourth quarter. As bad as the scoreboard looked, it felt like a close game.
It did, just because it's Miami and you're worried about them, and you should be, because they're still going to be a very good team. Let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins, Mike. Let's give them a little bit of credit. Obviously, this was not your week. You lost by 28 points, so I'm not sorry about that. But at the end of the day, you're going to be fine. Achan, ridiculous, right? He went for 100 yards on like 6 carries, had 2 touchdowns on the day. I didn't get him in fantasy. Somebody beat me to him. I think it was Kevin. I hate you.
He's going to be a stud in this league.
Yeah, good for him. You know, you love to see it. I'm going to quote myself here because you love this quote and I love this quote. I'm just going to read it. Your team, it's still insanely good. When you're facing opponents that aren't your daddy, you're going to come out on top. But this one was not your week. We'll see you again. Maybe we'll see you twice. But we commend you as a team, and we'll see you down the road. What do you got to say to the Dolphins fans? I know you got buddies that are Dolphins fans, and
you got blown out this week, and just pretty much echo what you said, buddy. It's you got beat, you got out coached, and I truly have faith that we're gonna get a hell of a game in Miami.
Yep, for sure. And that's a late season game. It's gonna be flexed. We already know it's gonna be important some way, somehow, whether it's for the division or not.
You've got a very smart young head coach. You've got a great team. I expect to fight, and I expect to gloat after we win that fight.
So the Bills were gaining national media attention this week once again because, to quote Kyle Brandt, he says that he likes when everybody's talking about the brand new team, the brand new toy, and all the next big thing, right?
Right.
But Buffalo did not get worse during the offseason. They may have stayed the same, but guess what? The same has worked, right? They've won their division easily the last couple of years. And now you come into this season with all the hype around Miami, all the hype around the Jets. Sadly, of course, we see Rodgers go down. We're not going to know what that was going to be like. But ever since week 1, the Bills are looking like the best team in the AFC. And it's being touted like that, Mike. And I'm going to quote myself on social media because usually what I post on social media is never like it's not always an in the moment kind of thing. It's like, that's how I feel. That's how I'm going to feel moving forward. Mm-hmm. And I wrote that just keep our names out your damn mouths because we were doing fine when you weren't talking about us. We're going to continue to do fine. Talk about everybody else. Talk about Baltimore. Talk about Kansas City. And we're just going to keep winning football games.
I've said it for 5 years now. We play better when we're underestimated by the national media. 31 other teams are not going to underestimate us. But when the national media is out of the spotlight, not talking about us, we go off. So, yes.
Not only did they go off, 3 blowouts in a row, now Jacksonville and London. We will be with you guys on Sunday. Mike had the great idea. We're not doing pregame. First of all, nobody's going to be here. You're all going to be either if you're awake that early, you're gonna be drinking, and I'm a little scared of that,
Either-
Bills fans.
Either drinking or what are you doing up that early?
So we're not gonna bring you pregame on Sunday, but we are gonna bring you postgame. The question is, I don't know exactly when this game's gonna end. I don't know what we're gonna want to shoot for. Hopefully it's before the 1 o'clock slate. That's my goal personally.
I'm thinking we want to shoot for about 12:30.
If it's over by
that's
12:30, that's of course
That's
ending the game.
Approximately 12:30. We'll try to keep it short if it goes a little bit past 12:30.
And we don't want to be on past 1 because we need to get into our other football games. You and me watch the entire league. Guys, we want to thank you for watching. Our prayers, our thoughts, our hopes go up to Mr. Tre'Davious White. More than just a football player, but a man who I can't even imagine how he's feeling right now.
McDermott's first pick ever as a member of the Buffalo Bill.
Traded down from 10 where future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes was taken, but it's okay. It is what it is. Guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe here to the KellyCast. New videos every week. It's 4. I always forget the number. I tried to remember today. It's 4 videos a week. So we do appreciate your support. I'm going to let Mike sign us off because he loves to do it.
No, I don't. I hate it. And I hate all of you who don't watch. No. Thanks for watching, everybody. Echo what he said. Like, subscribe, share. Interact with us. I love you guys.
See you next time. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
We got to do that more often.
Yeah, we do.